All right, welcome to the 5th episode of the GC Experience. Today, we are going to be talking about what I call the 5 things or 5 keys, or what else would you call it? Like,
I
5
don't know.
lessons?
Yeah, just 5 essential things you want to have to live wholesome and like.
Yeah, I can
You get what I'm
describe it.
saying.
Yeah, so like, pretty much I came up with a set of things to take care of that if you have each in proper moderation, you'll just be living a happy life. And it's pretty much based on physical health. And generally, what I've found, like just from learning in the past like few years, is that physical health will generally follow mental health. And that's been something that's helped me a lot, taking care of physical health. So like it can pretty much help with anything that you're dealing with if you're not feeling good, or it just helps you live well and just feel happy. And the first thing that I have for the 5 things is sleep. Then I have eating, exercise, sunlight, hydration, and that's it.
Yeah.
So it's generally in that order of importance. I think like sleep is always the most important thing.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah. So like I like when you know how it is when you don't have enough sleep, you just sort of feel crazy. You're not thinking straight. And
or when you had like a hard time going to sleep the night before or something along those lines.
yeah. Like it's just something that isn't always thought about until you start getting good sleep, and then you're like, oh my god, like I was not thinking right. And then when you're in a good pattern of sleep, you can be thinking more clearly, you feel better, and you just have a better, clear mind. And it's something that makes just the slightest difference if you just get like 1 extra hour of sleep, or even just going to bed an hour before, or just trying to be like, okay, I'm going to bed way too late every night, like I need to get this in order. And like it's hard to do that, but it's just something that like always, it's just like working up to it and building the routine.
I feel like this can be one of the hardest things to control, because a lot of times like it can be just out of your control how much sleep you're getting, or you might wake up in the middle of the night. So that's why I think it's important to have like a good routine, which can make it a little easier at least to just have it consistently.
Yeah, at least 8 hours of sleep, and our body responds very well to routine. And building a good circadian rhythm where you're going to bed at the same time every night and waking up at the same time is what can help you just function the best. And then after sleep is just eating and noticing like what you're actually consuming, and just thinking of what you're putting in your body and what you're using to like fuel yourself.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
If you're not eating enough, or if you're not giving yourself enough nutrients, or what's it called, or just like eating healthy, I guess. Yeah,
you're just gonna feel like shit.
Yeah, you just gotta think of what you're eating and think of how that will impair your function, or how it can benefit your function, or just think of what you're eating and how that will affect how you function.
Like they've been telling us this since we were a kid. Like, remember the food pyramid and everything.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not exactly like the best representation, but you just gotta make sure you get like just like a good like healthy balance of different stuff to just feel generally good, I guess.
Yeah, see, like I think of it, for me, as my rule of thumb is eating, like obviously this is a thing in like the exercise community, is like eating at least 1 gram of protein for your body weight per day. And for some people, I could understand how that would be difficult if you're not eating like meat, or if you're not drinking or eating dairy. But there's obviously like protein powder that you can have, and there's plenty of ways that you can just work in different nutrients into your diet and make it work for you. And so after protein would be carbs. I know that's something that you can either go no carbs and do keto, or you could just end up going with carbs and protein, or having protein and fat. And that's sort of become a lot more popular, eating proteins and fats. And like fats would be like avocado, or like nuts, like mixed nuts. But yeah, like we aren't dietitians, so I don't really have like everything to say for that, but that's just like the basis of that. And sort of cutting out like processed foods or junk food, and limiting it to like
sugar,
maybe once a month. Yeah. And also eating at the right times really helps, and actually eating real meals and not eating just junk food, or what we call like baby food.
Like we were saying, sugar drinks are one of the worst things. I guess I go more ties into hydration, but like it ties into food too, I guess.
Well, like they say like don't drink your calories, and like if you If you're like drinking a lot of sugary drinks or soda, they generally have a lot of calories, and if you're trying to stay lean or lose weight, it's something that's like very easy to just overindulge, you know.
Or even get into, 'cause sugar just
Oh yeah,
it's not good for that at all.
Yeah, you know what's kind of funny is I just read something about sugar and how certain types of sugar aren't as bad for us, and like sugar from fruit, like I know like people will say that fruit or I've just noticed in like bodybuilding, like people won't be eating fruit, and I never knew why, and I guess it's just because of the sugar, but I realized or I saw like studies actually done that it's not actually as bad as people think, and it's kind of a good sugar that gives you energy from fruit.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but yeah, that's just a little bit for like diet and eating. Like we can get more into that once we start learning more, I guess, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so after eating would come exercise, and this is something that I think is important for anybody. Just finding what sort of exercise works for you, just getting your body moving, and actually like feeling the good effects of putting in hard labor, hard exercise. So
like feeling the endorphins after like a good workout or a good run or whatever you like to do.
Yeah, like the pump, the runner's high. It's crazy how much better you feel after it, and then you're just sort of just actually like working your body and growing your body pretty much.
It helps you feel better in the long run.
Yeah, like I said, the physical health follows mental health, and or mental health follows physical health, and yeah, that is definitely one of the biggest things that could help with that. And after that would be hydration. So I notice when I'm drinking a lot of water, I just notice my skin starts clearing up. I start feeling better. I start feeling like I have more energy, and just like hydration is just good for flushing your systems out, and just it's kind of people will say like, oh, I don't want to drink this much water because I'll just be going to the bathroom all the time. But once you start drinking a lot of water frequently, you start to end up having to go less, which is kind of weird, but your body just gets used to it. And yeah, even something that's not really that like noticeable, but if you are drinking enough water for a long period, or if you haven't drinking enough water, you actually realize how much energy it actually gives you, which is surprising to me. But yeah, water actually does help with your energy levels a lot.
I'm sure like sugary drinks or whatever just deplete your energy so much if you drink them all
or
the time.
Or like the sugar crash, you know?
Yeah,
like that's what
it gives
people
you like
call
a quick boost, and then you're kind of feeling more tired after.
Yeah, so after that would be sunlight, and it's just to me so important to spend time outside at least every day, whether that's just like 10 to 30 minutes or hopefully more than that. But that's another thing that just you end up having a better mood, and you start feeling better, and the vitamin D that you get from it, there's just a lot of benefits of being outside and spending time in nature. That's even better than just being outside, like whether you're at like some I don't know, I'm just trying to think of what would be like a good example.
I think it's just really good for your mental health, because just being inside all the time, you might not even realize it, but I think it really take a toll on you after just not being in the sun, I guess.
For sure.
Once you go out, you kind of realize.
Yeah, and it's like it's not really like the sun, but just like outdoors in general. Like they say like cabin fever, like that's literally like a real thing. And like I feel like from COVID, everybody has sort of felt the effects of that to a small degree, whether that's just like feeling like a little bit like out of the loop, or not really being able to be that social, or like that sort of thing, you know?
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Once you pair all these things together and try to really focus on making sure, okay, like I'm getting the proper amount of this, I'm getting the proper amount of sleep, you just end up feeling better and feeling in a better mood, feeling more joyful. And I noticed I stopped focusing as much on negative things and more on positive things, and just puts you in a better headspace. You can be thinking more clearly, and all these things, they all lead to the same goal, and managing them properly just has helped me so much. And like right now, I don't think I'm doing the best with it, and I can see how getting better sleep right now and getting better exercise right now, because those are the two things that I haven't been doing the best with. I can just see how that is already going to help me once I take once I take better care of them right now.
These are also just like things that like give you something like work towards almost.
Yeah.
Like, in today's world, sometimes there's like not a lot of stuff to work towards.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
something you can focus on every day, that has a positive effect on your life.
Yeah, for sure. And that's like the whole thing about like you start feeling better, and it sort of gives you almost a thing to have purpose in, and it's just all what it's about.
It's like the grind.
Yeah, exactly. Just like the act of striving, like that's what we call a GC process.
Striving for excellence.
Yeah, that's what we call a GC process for, because it's just striving and going towards a goal, you know, and it's just the constant process of that. So yeah. So another thing that you could pair with that I have noticed that helps me when I feel like even if I'm doing a good job of all 5 of these, if they're not working great, and I'm still not feeling the best, I noticed that just making sure I'm getting enough social interaction, like with people that I'm friends with, or just making sure I reach out to people, or like reaching out to new people, or just making myself uncomfortable and just trying to put myself in new situations and try new things. And that's like, again, something that all leads to the same overall goal of just feeling better. And like another thing on top of that is if you're really not feeling good, I noticed that limiting technology use, going outside, spending time outside, or just going on walks and journaling is something that can help so much, at least for me personally. And that's just something that has helped me, whether it's getting through something I'm struggling with at the time, or just realizing that like things are going to get better from where they are. And that's another thing that I want to talk about on the podcast, is like getting through like struggles or getting through like hardships or things that you're dealing with. And
of course,
this sort of helps with it, but there's like even more that I sort of use like with myself that helps me, and that's just something I want to pass on. So yeah, I mean, that is sort of all for the 5 things, and it's like something that's always you're going to be trying to work towards and always going to take care of. You're never going to be perfect at it, and even if you are being perfect at it, there's going to be a time when you're not perfect at it, and you're always going to be working towards getting better with it. And that's ultimately what helps, is just having the constant goal to be following.
Exactly.
Like we were just saying.
It takes time to make it takes time to make a habit, and it's really easy to break a habit.
Yeah.
Nate's gonna be right back. Buddy's grabbing the hats.
All right, so we got the hats dropping on the 20th. So right here we got a box of hats. So right now these are the hats that we're gonna be dropping. You know, we've teased these, of course. These will be coming out on the 20th, so that'd be Friday. We'll be dropping those at noon, so everybody be on the lookout. And yeah, after that we have hoodies coming, like I've been saying. And yeah, we're just gonna keep pushing forward with this and getting it to where we want, you know?
Exactly.
And just the dream, following the dream. That's all it's about. This is a
Not
short
really.
one.
I think that's about it. Yeah, it's a little bit of a shorter episode, but
Yeah, but this is good though, because this is exactly what I wanted to talk about with this. So yeah, we'll be back in a few days. Actually, we'll be posting one on Monday. And if it's not up on Monday, it's this guy's fault.
No,
so no.
well, don't remember, it's not gonna happen. So
yeah, I hope not. But yeah, so we'll be dropping a podcast with our boy Channing, doing an interview with him. And yeah, after that, just keep a lookout for the hats dropping on the 20th. So that'd be Friday at 12 p.m. And yeah, that's it. Thanks.